All right, good morning. Welcome to another session. I hope you're doing well. I am very well. Thank you very much for asking. So today is Wednesday. Is the 27th of July 2022, and it's the last week of the month of July. So without wasting too much time, let's see what the market has for us. Hi Daniel, it's been a while. I hope you're well. Okay, so dollar index, right? We are kind of stuck in a consolidation, and I think we have the rate announcement coming in today, so that's why the market is just going up and down. I feel like they might take it down here, but it's rate announcement, so anything is possible. But going from the daily time frame, I'm looking at this down candle and thinking that we are in kind of a market maker sell model, and price has returned back to this level of distribution, so we might see one more move to the downside, maybe to come back to this level here, right? So that's what I'm kind of going with going forward. Now they have formed kind of a swing low, so I could be wrong and they can send it up into this imbalance and before moving down, because that was the last down candle prior to this high being formed, so they can take it up in here before coming back down. We are towards the end of the month of July, and the seasonal tendency on the dollar index most of the time makes a low in July, so I'm not seeing this as the low. I'm anticipating one more low formation, and then I'll look for continuation to the upside for the month of August. So I'm looking for today with the rate announcement, either they're going to take it up here and then send it down, or they're just going to send it down. So that's where I stand with the dollar index. Okay, that will give you the foreign currencies to give you the opposite. So with euro, I'm kind of looking at OTE based on the daily time frame. Right, we've retraced to 50%. There was a level that I was looking to buy from last week, but because of the announcement, I kind of stayed away from it, because I don't want to be the first to buy when we do have announcements such as the dollar index interest rate, so I left it. But I think looking at it now, I could have got something out of it. So with the news coming out later, I'm looking at this area to offer me a potential buy to push price up a little bit. Okay, they have also formed a swing high, so more reason to anticipate a kind of a move down before maybe a continuation to the upside. Overall, we are bearish, so you have to bear that in mind, that the overall market is bearish. However, we can get retracements in the bearish market, so that's what I'm looking for going forward. Right, in the lower time frames, this was the level. It's a small little gap. That's what I was looking for, a buy last week prior to this big move here. I was anticipating a buy there, and the price didn't give me, and they happened to come there today. So let's see what price is gonna do in here. All right, but they have formed a swing high on the daily time frame, so I'm not all that bullish yet, right? It can go up, but I'm not all that bullish yet. So I'll wait till maybe after the rate announcement, and then I'll see what I can do. So that kind of go for all the majors this morning. I don't have a bias. I'm waiting for all the majors, right? So from euro up to CAD, I'm waiting patiently, right? Because to give a bias right now, it's like me trying to predict what the news is going to present, which I personally don't know. So if I don't know, I'll sit on my hands. So you do the same thing, all right? Euro, we are looking for a run to this low. This run was too shallow for me, so I think they're going to run that and then run this one. So I'm looking for a run or a continuation to the downside on the euro pound. Maybe we might get some reaction inside this auto block in here. We can investigate that on the 1 hour time frame. Let's go over there. So inside this area here, we might find a gap. Right there. That looks very nice. Okay, that gap there, that's what I'll look for price to trade to from where we are. Okay, so I'm looking for price to trade down into that. Let me put you onto some trade ideas that I'm actually this morning participating in. Okay, so I am in a sell on this one. I'm looking for a run to 0.919747, and the idea is we are bearish, and this is the Judas for the day, so the high of the day, and I'm looking for price to now sink down, right? So that's a trade I have going this morning, and how I got that trade was by just on the 15 minutes time frame. Right, there's this gap in here, and we had Asian session equal high, and we had a gap, and we had a swing over here. So this is how I got the trade, right? Looking at continuation to the downside, selling basically Asian high OTE, and then looking for continuation to the downside. All right, so that's one trade. Bear with me, checking something over here. The other trade that I have going is the Aussie Swiss. That's also looking at this high to that low, right? Selling retracement to OTE and looking for 0.66500 as my target for this for today, and then going forward I'll expect them to obviously continue going lower. So that's another trade that I am currently in. This I've been in since yesterday and it's yet to take out this low, so you know it's entirely up to you if you wanna take it. We're almost there anyway. Euro Yen, we retraced, so it's similar to the Euro Swiss. We retraced, took out the Asian session high over there, and then applying time of the day and price, right? So time and price, we've talked about that in several occasions over here. So that pricing level is 1.3900, and everything was lining up over there. So that's another potential setup to go and attack yesterday's low. Okay, and then I think Aussie Yen, I'm not that keen on that yet. It didn't take out this low, so it did take out previous day's high, but I wanted them to take out at least a short-term low before pulling back. So it doesn't give me the it doesn't give me the confidence to sell it as it is now, right? I needed them to take out this short-term low. So if they do take out the short-term low, then I'll be interested in selling, right? Because then I'll have a break in market structure, or a shift in market structure to continue going lower. So I'll wait till this low is taken, or at least this low has been taken. Then there's some kind of weakness, and I will rely on that weakness and then look for continuation to the downside. Okay, so these are the trades that I am personally watching for the day, right? I'm leaving the majors alone, simply because of the rate announcement, right? So that's the business. Oil, this is OTE relative to this dealing range here, and I think, I'm not sure if I shared it in the group. No, I didn't. I shared it in my private group. So I shared it yesterday when price traded to that level, because we had a sell-off yesterday. So I actually posted it to my private group yesterday to buy. Let me show you the image. Open link. So yesterday we had price straight to that level there, and then I posted it for them to basically buy, attacking that equal high, right? So we had a nice entry over there, and we are anticipating a rejection to continue going up. Like, I didn't post it in the landing channel because I gave you at least 3 kind of trades for the week, which is okay. All right, so that's what price has done so far. We had the reaction here. It came back down, and then now price has rejected. So I'm looking for price to continue going up on this. All right, we might probably struggle a little bit here, but once we bridge that, then it's gonna be very easy for price to go up. So that's where maybe we will take partial profit. Now if they do bridge that, you can actually look for a buy upon retracement. Okay, so wait for this level to be broken, and then anticipate some kind of a pullback, and then you can buy to continue going up on oil. Gold, it's a pair that all week I've been looking to buy it, but the level that I want to buy is down here. I'm anticipating some kind of a run on previous day's low into this gap, and then buy to continue going up here. So that's where my draw on liquidity is on gold, but I've not actually got the entry yet. On the daily time frame, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all inside Friday's candle, right? So I'm looking at Friday's low as where stops might be, because anyone that was profitable on Friday probably now have their stops jammed below this low. So I'm looking forward for that low to be taken, and then a rejection. Okay, so if we don't get that, no problem, I'll wait for a swing low to be confirmed, and then I'll buy to continue going up. So if they don't attack this low today with the rate announcement, then I will look for price to close above this high, or I'll wait for price to close above that high, and then I'll buy the swing low to go and attack that level. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of looking for on this pair this morning. Okay, moving on, we have Bitcoin. We talked about Bitcoin. With you guys, I haven't, but with those with me on a daily basis since Monday, we talked about this low. Okay, why that low? You have to go into the weekly time frame to understand why that low. So it's a previous week low, right? We talked about price coming to that level using this low to that high, that being OTE, but where we have liquidity residing below that, them taking that liquidity and then waiting for a break in market structure, at least on the H1. And we had that yesterday. So we had price form right here, and then breaker buy. Now we're up. So for those of you that have been with me since Monday, I'm in a private group, especially I know who I'm talking about. If you've been following, right, it has done exactly what I told you to wait for. So if you're in, great. If you're not, no problem, just wait for pullback. Okay, and then you can obviously join in the new move. Now, because we also have something that maybe in future I'll talk about on over here, I'll make an announcement later on. I think I've already made it. Going into September, I will probably not be doing the live sessions, as my son will be going to a different, I won't say a different school, same school but different class, and I will be required to be taking him. He starts at 9 and I have to get him ready in the morning, so I don't know how the schedule is going to be in September, so I might pause the live sessions in September, but I'll have something else cooking when we get there. All right, so don't worry, it's not all doomed. There's something on the horizon. So right, so if you did catch it, well done. If you not, then wait for pullback. Okay, but we do have a dealing range in here. We have this low, a high, that low, break. We also have a high, taking, breakdown. So this high to this low is a current dealing range on the H1. So because it's a dealing range, price can trade into premium, right? And then come back down into discount again. So your buy that you are currently in is not a buy to go all the way up here yet. Okay, we need this high to be taken first. Once that high is taken, then we've basically changed the trend, this trend here. For now, we've just changed a lower time frame trend. We've not changed the higher time frame trend. So this would be a 1 hour trend change, but the H4 is still bearish. Okay, so this would be a H4 retracement, which is this range here. So once we get that H4 trend to change, then we are going to attack this high. Right, so bear that in mind. So I don't want you to hold, if you did catch the buy, I don't want you to hold one trade thinking it's gonna take you all the way up to that level. No, you need to take partial. Okay, up in here. And I think the same thing for Ethereum. Actually, this didn't trade to the level that I personally anticipated. I was looking for 50%. I was looking for 50%. I think the range that I used, it's because of the range that I used, right? I should have used the weekly range instead of the swing low, which is this one, right? Because we did close above it, so we look for price to trade to OTE and then form a low to go up. I was looking at what the BTC was doing to frame the same thing on this, but I got it wrong. So there you go, should have been this range, right? And then we anticipate this, and then we look for continuation. On the H4, we did actually form a decent swing low, which is what I kind of teach or encourage people to look for when price is retracing. Once we form such a swing low like this, then it can give you the low that you're looking for price to push up. On this time frame, however, we also have a daily range, so we might get price to trade up in here, and then because it's a bearish daily range, it can do something like this. Okay, so this buy, I won't say it's risky, but it can take you up here, and then once we get up there, you just have to wait and see if we break and trade to that 1704 level, because that's where I think price is going. Okay, all right, so that is that on the on Bitcoin. And finally, let's move on over here. I think I've already talked about all of this. I've given you the ones that I am personally in and the ones that I'm watching. Okay, so pretty much these ones are done. If you have any question on these, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to answer you. So let's have a look at the indices. So indices, yesterday I was asked a question, what do I think is going to do? And I pointed out that based on the weekly range, it looks to me that it wants to trade into OTE. So I highlighted from the 618 to 79 retracement level to anticipate a reversal forming in there. Now, one of the things that one has to do is try to fit, which will be the discussion for today, right? I'm trying to finish these by half 9, and then we move into some kind of discussion. When we are anticipating price to drop into OTE, right, inside this area, when you are looking for price to reverse, there are so many things you can use that has to be on a personal level. So, I gave the level as where to anticipate price reversing from, and that's what we've got. But I will come back to this specific topic here. This one, it didn't trade to OTE as the other one. I think it traded to 50%. Yeah, and then rejection. And then this one didn't even move because it's strong, right? So we might get a continuation to the upside. With the rate announcement, you don't know what you're gonna get. So, I will not promise that we're gonna push higher or we're gonna go lower. I don't know. I'll just pick up the pieces once they have moved price, right? So pretty much that's all I had. Let's go back to EuroCAD. EuroCAD is also a pair that I'm looking for continuation to the downside. We do have this low resistance over here, so I'm looking for continuation to the downside. This 3 days has been amazing. I didn't trade it, but it's something that I anticipated, which is this low to this high. We traded back into main threshold of this last up candle, and then boom, price changed and moved lower. Yesterday we had my system called a beautiful sell in here, right? And then it's almost done at TP3. It did the same thing on Euro Swiss, and it did the same thing on New Zealand Swiss. So this week I have been looking at the Swiss pairs to move lower, so that's why I have most of the Swiss pairs in here. Okay, all right, let's go back and now have a discussion on what I placed as the topic for the day. Know thyself in the charts. If you have any question, feel free to ask, or if you have any pair that you want me to look at, again, feel free to point it out and I'll look at it for you. I'm just gonna have a little discussion here, and if AJ, I think I've already talked about AJ. I'm looking for price to drop, but I don't like where we currently at. Okay, they've made another high. So yesterday they made a high and then it broke down, right? And I got a sell in here, and then in the afternoon I got another sell down here expecting a continuation, and that sell stopped me out. So I still had the sell that I had from the morning here, and that came right back to stop me out again. So I'm kind of waiting for a break because I need the market to break down. Anytime we make a new high, I need a breakdown before I can sell. So this high, breakdown, sell, and then here there was a sell opportunity and I took it during the New York session, and that stopped me out. So I'm kind of waiting for this low to give up next. There's a 15 minutes time frame that, but I prefer the 1 hour. Okay, so in the 15 minutes we did have a break over here, which it's not bad. Okay, it's not bad, but I prefer the 1 hour. That's a preference. Again, it goes to touch on the topic that I have for today. Know thyself in the chart. What do you look for, or what are you looking for in the chart? You have to know what you're looking for. So what I am looking for is that I want the 1 hour time frame to take out this low, right? To someone 15 minutes is enough and they can take a sell here, but to me, I need this low to be taken, all right, before I can look for another sell. Okay, anything else? Anything else, guys, before I CAD Yen? CAD Yen, I haven't looked at that in a while. The reason why I didn't add CAD Yen for this week is because they are both strong, in my opinion. So chances are they are going to stay in a consolidation, right? Based on the analysis that I did over the weekend, they are two strong pairs, right? CAD is strong. If you look at the futures market, let me place CAD over here. Right, you can see CAD is strong and Yen is also strong. Why is Yen strong? It sees no tendency, and we have made a change in the state of delivery. We've gone above this candle right here. So that's a breaking structure for me. So at the moment it's strong. This one did it, I think, 2 weeks ago. So that's also strong. But this week in particular, we do have CAD seasonal tendency wise potentially going up, and we have the Yen seasonal tendency wise also going up. So there are two strong pairs that I am forecasting. Okay, it's not showing it now, but I'm forecasting that they are both going to be strong. So if they are both going to be strong, I don't want to waste my time on it, because it's just gonna go sideways. And since Monday is pretty much done nothing. Okay, so that is why I'm staying away from that pair. Okay, so regardless of what it's doing now, I'm literally not interested. If you want to trade it based on price action, then yes, I will look for price to trade down here. Okay, maybe trade to 618. Yeah, I'll look for it to trade to 618 down here as a sell. That will be the, based on what I'm seeing now, then you look for it to drop down here. Okay, let me double check something. Yep, I don't have, actually, yes, I do have. Yes, I do have the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen going bearish from the 18th of July to the 2nd of August. So 18th of July, yeah, it did form a high to the 2nd. So in my opinion, it's bearish. Like I just said, it forms a seasonal high on the 18th, which it missed it by a day. This is 18th and then this is 19th. So it did form the high a day after. So I'll look for price to drop somewhere in here. Alright, so you can use this dealing range. You can use this dealing range in here and then leave your stop above that high and then expect expansion to the downside. Alright, let's check the weekly time frame. Check the monthly. Yeah, we've attacked the monthly high. Yeah, these levels first. Yeah, we attacked the previous month high. And then we took out the short-term low. So yeah, bearish. Okay. I'm checking my oil trade. I wanted to trade to that level and I take partial, and then I'll have peace of mind to allow the rest to move. Oops. Let's see if he'll give me that. I'll be happy. I'll be happy, man, before the rate announcement comes out later today. Okay. Any other question? Any other pair? Any other question? Any other pair? Everybody good? All right. Morning. So let's move on. I like this trade. It's a seasonal trade for me, so I'm expecting a big drop to take out this low. and I'm just giving you a hint. I like this trade. That's all I can say. And I like this trade. They are all seasonal trades. We do have a market maker sell model in here. So low resistance, pull back into this big range. We are actually forming a swing high, and it's dead in the middle. Right, dead in the middle, forming a swing high. You have to have a bias, right? So that's my bias. I'm not saying it's going to do that. I'm just saying that's what I'm anticipating. So I have to come into the week with a bias. So that's the bias I came into the week with. Now, whether they do that or they don't, that's irrelevant because I'm not trading it. I've already taken what I need to take from the majors when on Monday. On Monday, I only traded the British pound. On Monday, I bought the British pound here. I bought the British pound here on Monday, and I wrote that. Okay. Tuesday, I wanted to buy here. Where is it? Yeah, I wanted to buy here, but because of time of the day, it wasn't like a good time to buy. But there was still this level that I wanted price to. We go into the H4 so you see this high. I wanted price to touch that high. I'm sorry, that low. This candle's low. Because on the higher time frame, that's where we close in the void. Right? So I wanted the candle to touch it. So midnight, I was looking forward for the London session to push it up. But London session formed here. And we've had already hit that level. So I didn't trade it. But I've already taken what I need to take from the majors, so I'm currently neutral and I'm waiting for after the rate announcement. So my bias is dollar down, but it's irrelevant because I'm not going to trade it. All right. Okay, let's move into the discussion portion whilst we look at some of these pairs at the same time. So what I did write as the topic for discussion for today is know thyself in the charts, and I'm gonna make it brief. I've only got 15 minutes. When I say know thyself in the charts, what do I mean? You know, when you are trading, I don't know if you guys have realized, but trading is kind of a personal endeavor where at the time of taking a trade, it's not something that you have people looking at your back, telling you, okay, press that buy button or press that sell button. And you don't have that. And if you look at that from a kind of a different angle, it just goes to show you that whatever you do with your platform that you're trading, it's personal. So if it is personal, then your decision making is going to be very important, right? Because once you press the sell or buy button, that's it, you're in. And to get out, you are going to get yourself out. No one is going to do it for you. what will be the reason to get in, what will be the reason to get out. And again, since it's something that you're going to do for a long time, you need consistency. Okay, you cannot get in using something today and then tomorrow get in using something else, right? That's not consistency. So in order for you to be consistent in your trading, you need to have a system. You need to have something which goes by the title, which okay, which and it translates to what ICT always says. What are you looking for? What are you personally, that you're sitting in front of the screen, what are you personally looking for when you sit in front of the screen? Because what I am looking for, it's not the same as what you are looking for. We are both not the same. So if I give you what I am looking at or what I'm looking for, and you go trade it tomorrow or even the same day, if something goes wrong and I'm not there to kind of guide you to get you out of whatever I told you, then you're gonna get stuck, right? So the number one reason why a lot of traders out there are struggling is because they are looking outside. Okay, they are looking outside. They are on social media, they are on YouTube, they are on Twitter, they are on Instagram, looking at what others are doing, right? One of the things that influences you, everybody, including myself, is what we are exposed to outside, right? It has a huge influence in our decision making, especially when it comes to trading. Because if you're in the trading world, you get bombarded with a whole lot of information, and all these social media showing off trades. I took this sniper trade, I took that sniper trade, I got 10 hour, I got 15 hour. All those things, they influence your decision making, right? So you might take a trade that gives you maybe 2-1, and then you go on Instagram and you see that guy trading on the 1 minute chart and he's made 20-1, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I just made 2-1 and someone made 20-1. What am I doing wrong? And then you start looking into how you can improve on your 2-1. Meanwhile, this person that showed you that they took a 20-1 or 50-1 on a 1 minute chart never actually took any trade, right? They never actually took a trade. So by you looking at that and letting that influence you, you're gonna start looking into, okay, maybe this guy has something that I need to learn, and then you go looking, right? So in order for all this to stop, in order for all this noise to stop, in order to be consistently profitable, there is a phrase that I actually got from Mark Douglas, right? In one of the it's one of his trading psychology videos that is on YouTube. It's titled "How to Think Like a Professional Trader." It's a 4-part series, part 1 to part 4, and in one of them he made mention of if you want to be profitable, if you want to be consistently, because there's a difference between profitable and being consistently profitable. He said that if you want to be consistently profitable, you need a system, right, with rules that you yourself has back tested or you have come up with and know that it actually works. Okay, and that's a paraphrase. It's not the actual quote. I'm just paraphrasing it. He said you need to have a system that you have developed with rules. So when he says rules, you need to be able to know when, why, what, right? When, I'll start from what you're gonna trade, when you're gonna trade it, how you're gonna trade it. Right? You need to have all those as set guide. It's like a set stone rules that you don't deviate from, because the moment you start deviating, consistency goes out of the window. You can be profitable, but it won't be consistent. So you need to develop something that is 100% rule based. Okay, it cannot be fit form every time you sit in front of the screen. When you sit in front of the screen, there has to be a reason, there has to be a logic behind the trade that you are going to take. Because if there is no logic, if there is no reason behind the trade that you're taking, chances are you are taking it by faith, right? Or you're taking it by hope. You're hoping that the trade will move in your favor. And we don't trade hope. The last time I checked, we trade logic. So you need to come up with something that is logical, rule based, set stone, that will not deviate every day. So if it's previous days highs and lows that you are trading, it's set. When you sit in front of the screen, you are trading previous days highs and lows, right? And you have to, and this is important, you have to know that system. So you can learn it from someone, right? Say you want to learn from me. You can learn from me, but knowing it is different, right? When I say knowing it, you have to spend time with the system to know it inside out. Say, for example, the trade that I was talking about on the Aussie Yen, right? Aussie Yen, I said, if price has gone and made a new low, right? I need the 1 hour to break the low before I take a trade. Now that is me, okay? I know myself. I know this is what will make me take a trade. I'm not learning, or I'm not taking that instruction from anyone, because it's something that I have been doing and I know that it works for me. So if I'm going to take a trade, this is how it has to be. It cannot be any other way, and it cannot be from someone on Twitter, or it cannot be from someone on YouTube, or it cannot be from someone on Instagram. This is me. Okay, so when I take the trade, I take full responsibility of that trade. I take full responsibility of that action that I'm taking, so that in case I'm wrong, I don't blame anyone. I look within myself and find out, okay, what did I do wrong, and then next time I can improve on it. Okay, so knowing thyself in the chart, it's key to success. You need to know what you are looking for in the chart. If you don't know exactly what makes you buy, if you don't know exactly what makes you sell on a consistent basis, that is why you're struggling. And you need to take time to find out those things. Okay? Now, sometimes you might know it and you keep taking losses. If you know it and you keep taking losses, that means what you know is flawed, right? There's something wrong with it. So you need to sit down and improve on it. You don't have to change it. You just have to improve. Look at the reason why it's not working, and then improve on it. Because chances are you are doing something just slightly wrong. That's why your results are not being met with your expectation. But if you do, if you don't, then that is why you're struggling, and you need to go back to the drawing board and actually start figuring out exactly what makes you a buyer, what makes you a seller, right? And then once you figure those things out, the rest is going to be easy. You're going to find it like less stressful to kind of navigate in the charts. You won't have so many questions. You're not going to have doubts, because all doubts will be kind of suppressed since you know exactly what you're doing. Like I'm sitting here right now, I don't have a doubt in my mind that okay, if this low is taken, I'm going to take a trade, right? I don't have that doubt. As soon as it's taken, I'm looking for a trade. Okay, but if you don't know what you're looking for, then everything that you're going to do will be based on randomness. It's going to be based on like a feeling. Okay, I think I've seen this before, and I think it's going to do this, so let me do that, and then chances are it's not going to be